sunshine tomorrow because of the wildfire smoke. 60s of the ocean, 70s and 80s Bayside, to the low and mid-90s inland. 94 should be about the warmest in Concord, Walnut Creek, and Santa Rosa. 91 in Morgan Hill, Livermore, Pleasanton, and Dublin. Those will be the warmest temperatures. Even 71 in downtown San Francisco. Pretty comfortable. 68 at Ocean Beach. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on KCBS.
If you're thinking about home improvement, why not choose products that last longer, look better, and provide real energy efficiency, all while increasing the comfortability of your home? For over 50 years, Armstrong Painting, Roofing, and Windows. Free estimates and financing available when you call toll-free 855-777-1234 or online at armstrong1234.com. Armstrong Painting, Roofing, and Windows. License 245291.
Which NorCal drivers are having the most fun right now? Ask anyone who owns a Honda.
This car is actually both reliable and safe, and a lot of fun.
My Honda is a beast.
My Honda is delicious.
Honda has the happiest drivers in America, and is the most fun to drive, period. New Hondas are arriving daily. See your NorCal Honda dealer today.
Happiest drivers based on 2021 ACSI survey of customers rating the performance of their own automobiles.
Visit NorCalHondaDealers.com.
And now, bedtime.
If sleep apnea and CPAP struggles are ruining your sleep, Inspire may want for you. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to help you sleep peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
How's your mental health? I'm listening.
We have this image that if a person is strong, is accomplished, or whatever the stereotype is, that somehow they'll be immune from a mental health problem, PTSD, or suicide. And the reality is that every single human being is exactly that. We're human, and we all have our physical health, and we all have our mental health.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
KCBS News Time 11:41. Police chase down sideshow drivers. KCBS's Holly Kwan reports drivers and spectators didn't wait until dark to start gathering in the South Bay.
A flagrant display of spinning donuts and backing into the crowds was broad daylight Saturday at the very busy entrance to Great America, and then later at Highway 87 in Santa Teresa, and then again at Lundy and Concourse Drive. Video shows people hanging out of cars as the drivers swing dangerously close to the crowds. Smoke from the tires obscuring drivers' faces. The license plates blacked out with tape. Some in the crowd looked to be throwing water balloons at the cars. Police eventually lined up their SUVs with lights and sirens on, slowly creeping toward the sideshow to disperse the crowd. San Jose police have been trying to crack down on sideshows, issuing some 500 citations and making 7 arrests last month. In Oakland last night, an hour-long sideshow erupted at 10 p.m. on 98th Avenue, blocking flyers leaving the Oakland airport. Holly Kwan, KCBS.
All right, Holly, and now to the Kobe Bryant update. Several witnesses have testified about gruesome pictures that were taken at the site where NBA star Kobe Bryant's helicopter crashed. Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others were killed. Now the plaintiff's attorneys are trying to prove harm. Craig Figner has more from Los Angeles.
The acting fire chief for the county of Los Angeles told a lawyer for Vanessa Bryant and the plaintiffs in this case that he did order all fire personnel to be very sensitive with any pictures taken at the Kobe Bryant crash site, but that by the time of that order, 50 to 60 firefighters had already been to the crash site. He also agreed that there was no need for any fire department personnel to be taking close-up pictures of human remains, and said that when he gave the sensitivity order, as it was called, it was to protect the privacy of the victims' families. The lawsuit filed by Vanessa Bryant and the other victims' families alleges L.A. County is liable for negligence and invasion of privacy.
Craig Figner. Coming up, your sports updates. Stay with us. KCBS News Time, 11:43.
The PGA Tour is back in Napa Valley with the Fortinet Championship, where fans experience every kind of cheers. Join us September 15th to the 18th at Silverado Resort and Spa for 4 days of world-class health, Napa hospitality, and 2 nights of unforgettable performances featuring multi-platinum superstar Cole Swindell and Grammy-nominated One Republic, all included with your daily security at the Fortinet Championship. Secure your tickets now at FortinetChampionship.com.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong. I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic. Probiotics? They don't really work. It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut team up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at AlignProbiotics.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See, 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Coming up on KCBS.
I'm Margie Schaefer in Oakland. As algae blooms, wastewater treatment plants continue to fund science research. Millions of dollars over the last several years.
It's 11:45, and in baseball tonight, the Oakland A's dropped one 3-0 to the Miami Marlins at the Oakland Coliseum. Barely anybody was there tonight. Only 2,630 fans, the second lowest attendance of the year so far. That was more on sports. Here's
Now, here's a rumor that the Dub Nation may or may not like. The Warriors' newest rival reportedly has entered into the Kevin Durant trade sweepstakes. According to Shams Charania of The Athletic, reporting today, citing sources, that the Memphis Grizzlies are interested in trading for the Brooklyn Nets superstar. Memphis' greatest asset in trade talks is its load of 5 first-round draft picks. Elections is protected. The 2024 first-rounder the Grizzlies acquired from Golden State when the Warriors traded Andre Iguodala and the pick to clear cap space and complete the sign and trade for D'Angelo Russell with the Nets in 2020. In the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings acquired quarterback Nick Mullins from the Las Vegas Raiders for a conditional 2024 draft pick. And the Carolina Panthers named Baker Mayfield as starter for the September 11th opener against the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield insists this is not a redemption year, but he will make his first start at quarterback for the Carolina Panthers against a team that gave up on him. From the sports desk, Victor Zaragoza, KCBS.
I'm Tara Kappas. When the family of Habits Law represents your family, we put a whole team of people to work on your case. We cover all the expenses. Our payment is a percentage of the money we win for you. If we were good at what we do, Habits Law could not survive. When you've been injured in a traffic accident or in any other way, call Habits Law. The first thing we're going to do is make sure you get some help immediately. We're going to make sure you have what you need. We answer questions and solve problems 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ours will take your call. I will take your call. Case managers will take your call. Every person on your legal team will take your call. When you've been injured, you need help. Habits Law is there to make sure you get that help. Financial help. I'm Omar Habits, and I work to be here at We have an office near you. Visit habitslaw.com. HAWEAZ.com.
KCBS News Time, 11:48, traffic and weather together, and here's Carol.
And still lots of problems here on in the Vallejo area. This was on eastbound 80, just right by Redwood Parkway. We did have a 3-car crash, and it was associated with at least they believe it was associated with the wrong-way driver that was on Highway 30 a while back. Now, we do have a special traffic alert that is in effect. Someone was hurt. They've had to take at least one person to the hospital. So right now, traffic is being diverted off at Redwood Parkway. You'll get onto Callahan Lane, and detour signs will then get you back
Fauci found himself subject to criticism from then-President Trump.
He's a nice guy, I like him, but he's called a lot of bad wrong.
President Biden named Fauci his top medical advisor, but the White House did not give Fauci a prominent public role in its response to monkeypox, nor Mr. Biden's recent bout with COVID. In a statement, Fauci says he's not retiring, but rather moving on to the next phase of his career. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
Wastewater treatment plants that discharge into San Francisco Bay are funding millions to study the impact of climate change and impacts of nutrients on bay waters. KCBS's Marty Schaefer reports algae blooms may expand with this week's warm weather.
Drive around Lake Merritt and you'll notice brown, murky water. Executive Officer for the San Francisco Bay Regional Water Board, Eileen White, says algae bloom, which exists in Alameda, Berkeley, Oakland, Point Richmond, and Belvedere, may get worse with warm weather before it goes away.
It's naturally occurring, and there's nothing for us to do, but as the weather cools off, as the tides move it around, it will naturally go away on its own.
The 37 wastewater plants that discharge into San Francisco Bay and do meet all regulations have paid as part of their nutrient watershed permit millions of dollars over several years.
To help fund the science so we can better understand the impact of these discharges to the bay, and so we can make regulations based on sound science and make the best use of public funds.
Algae blooms have little or no risk to humans, but people and their pets are advised to stay out of the water out of an abundance of caution. Marty Schaefer, KCBS.
Construction begins on a national museum to honor the U.S. Coast Guard. The museum is being built on a riverfront in New London, Connecticut, first proposed in 2001. The project became delayed over funding and other issues. The museum is expected to open in 2024. The famed chef behind one of the Bay Area's most acclaimed restaurants is retiring. KCBS's Keith Manconi has more from the South Bay.
Since it first opened in 2002, Manresa in Los Gatos has earned 3 Michelin stars for its fine dining offerings, all under the leadership of executive chef David Kinch. But now, Kinch has announced he'll be stepping down at the end of the year, and will focus more of his attention on his other, more casual restaurants in the South Bay. For local foodies, the news comes as a blow.
Yeah, that is sad. That's very sad.
Pamela Zemek, who lives just down the street, she says the restaurant is loved around town.
Well, we're very much a restaurant-oriented kind of city, and people love to just sit here and relax, and that's one of the top places in our city.
Kinch is reportedly selling the restaurant, leaving its fate uncertain for now.
I hope that they don't close. I really hope that they replace it, find a good chef that can, keep up the level of food there.
In Los Gatos, Keith Manconi, KCBS.
The number of IT jobs are changing, and CBS reporter Christopher Cruz tells us it's not because of a lack of openings.
IT employment has increased just 1/3 of 1% in the U.S. in the